Wilma and Fred, Bonnie too, Dino and Bama be creeping through. We doing the bedrock.
We in the bedrock.
Rock, rock, rock.
Rock, 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 rock.
We got Wilma and Fred, Bonnie through, the whole Southwest state creeping through. We doing the bedrock.
We in the bedrock.
Rock, rock, rock.
Rock, 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 rock.
Come on with it. DJ jump, or while you playing the song, and we were singing along. If I catch ya in the freak zone,
I catch ya in the freaky zone.
I catch ya in the freak
I catch ya in the freaky
The whole Southwest is gonna get on y'all.
The whole Southwest is gonna get on y'all.
Play that song like the DJ jump, or while you playing the song, and we were singing along. If I catch ya in the freak zone,
I catch ya in the freaky zone.
I catch ya in the freak zone.
Catch ya in the freaky zone.
Everybody, everybody, everybody,
Everybody, everybody, everybody.
rock, rock, baby. Good to come to GOGO. Hold it down, hold. Down Memory Lane a little bit. For all the old school GOGO crowd up in here. Down Memory Lane a little bit before we give some of that 2020. Hold it down, hold it. Good seeing nephew. You and Hazel out there. Bochell and Joe. JY favorite folks over here. And now, yo, when you come inside and you do the twist, we doing the bedrock.
Twins, twins.
Get on down like you did it before. We doing the bedrock.
Twins, twins.
Keep on going, cause we gon' keep on flowing. We doing the bedrock.
Twins, twins.
Do it again, cause we all are friends. It's bedrock.
Twins, twins. Freaky zone. If I catch ya in the freaky zone, the whole uptown is gonna get on.
Play that song, like the DJ song. Or while you playing the song, and we were singing along. If I catch ya in the freaky zone,
I catch ya in the freaky zone.
I catch ya in the freaky
Catch ya in the freaky
The
zone.
whole Southwest is gonna get on y'all.
The whole Southwest is gonna get on y'all.
Play that song, like the DJ song. And the whole uptown ain't getting it on. If I catch ya in the freaky zone,
I catch ya in the freaky zone.
I catch ya in the freaky
Catch ya in the freaky
The
zone.
whole four walls is gonna get on
The
down.
whole four wash is gonna get on y'all.
Rock! Rock! Baby! Yo, because they love the GOGO. Oh, what you got back there, Sam? Also, big love going out to that Congress Park crew in the building yesterday. China doll in here too, let it rock. Hey, hold it down, hold it. Big love going out to the GOGO community, y'all. Things gonna get back in order real soon. Let's go. Yo, yo. Then when you come inside and you do the switch, we doing the baby.
Twins, twins.
Get on down like you did it before. We doing the baby. keep on going, cause we gon' keep on flowing. We doing the bama!
Oh, twist, twist.
Do it again, cause we're all a friend. And bama!
Twist, the freaky zone. If I catch y'all in the freaky zone, the whole Northeast just gotta get on.
Play that song, like the DJ song. Hey Blue, hey Dog, hey James, so if I catch you in the free zone,
Catch y'all in the free zone.
I catch you in the free game.
Catch y'all in the free game.
Everybody, 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 everybody,
Everybody, everybody.
rock, rock, and bama!
Skill me, Dougie.
Gonna pick it up a little bit. Come on, give me that.
I say dance. Come on, dance. Come on.
Come on, give me that. Hanging in with me out there, Joe. You a motel? I'm on. Give me that.
I say dance. Come on, dance. Come on.
Come on, one time. One, two, well, excuse me.
What do you want? What do you
I
want?
got an old song and it roll like this. First bomb, you roll. Stand first, you roll. One, four, you roll. Would you let the people? Come on. 5 minutes, yeah. 5 minutes, yeah. 5 minutes on the whole go. Yo, with this street brothers.
It's time all the time.
With this street brothers.
Boss, we can draw the line.
With this street
We
brothers.
always say that we won't stop.
With this street brothers.
The ballers now on it.
With this street brothers.
It's time all the time.
With this street brothers.
Boss, we can draw the line.
With this street brothers.
We always say that we won't stop.
Don't forget about the melody.
Heavy, heavy.
We rock the mic. 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 Let the people. Come on. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes on the whole.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Boosie Vegas, Mr. All Night Like the Porch Light. Another amazing installment of OneGoGoWorldLive.com. We have a very special voter registration, get out and vote episode today, best of summer edition. And I think today we have the most amazing candidate, the most amazing guest that we have. For those of y'all who do not know, this is Marcus Batchelor, who is running for the at-large council member seat in Washington, D.C., Congress Heights' own, DC's own School Board of Education representative in Ward 8. And this is a real pleasure and a privilege to have this man here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Marcus Batchelor, how you doing?
Thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate it. Good to be here.
Absolutely. Well, just want to say thank you really for this, just allowing us to have this amazing conversation, this amazing dialogue with you. It's so many things that we're going to really get into, but I do think the most impressive thing and the most amazing thing that we hope to get out of this is the fact that somebody your age, this young, can be actively engaged in politics and also have a mission statement to change the condition of its community. So I guess for people who do not know you and may have never met you before, or this is their first time seeing you, could you just give them a small bio of your name, who you are, where you come from, and then we can move from there?
Yeah, so I'm Marcus Batchelor. I'm 27 years old, and like you said, born and raised here in the city, native Washingtonian, still live in Congress Heights where I grew up.
That's amazing.
Went to our city's public schools, went to MLK Elementary, Hardy Middle School, Thurgood Marshall Academy, Go Warriors. Got to attend George Washington University here in the city. It was an alum of the Marion Barry Youth Leadership Institute. Went through the Summer Youth Employment Program. And, you know, came from a working class family. My mom's a home health aide, still going back and forth, serving our neighbors in need. My dad was a postal worker. My uncle and grandfather both made careers out of union jobs at Safeway. And so, you know, I had the blessing of having a nurturing community and a loving family. And, you know, since then I've really tried to take advantage of every opportunity to pay that blessing forward. And so, you know, I committed my career to public service really early, served as youth mayor in the Institute.
Wow.
And then went on to, you know, serve on the ground at places like the Far Southeast Collaborative and the Mayor's Office of Community Relations and Services. And then for the last 6 years, I've had the blessing of serving my neighbors in elected office, first as an advisory neighborhood commissioner in Congress Heights.
Wow.
And for the last 4 years, like you mentioned, as the Ward 8 representative on the State Board of Education. So
impressive, amazing, incredible, and I mean this is beyond impressive for somebody who is only 27 years old. So I guess the first question I would ask you, out of all the things that you could have been doing in your life, somebody who is young, successful, and accomplished as you have been so far, what made you want to venture into public service?
Yeah, well, you know, like I was saying, you know, I grew up in a working class family where so many of my family members, right, so many of the people around me were just giving quietly to community, right? I realized that my mom was going to work, making a living, but for most of my upbringing, she was an early child care provider, right? Doing what she was passionate about, but often making far less than she was worth, right? Her talents were worth.
Right.
Same thing, you know, as she's going back and forth to serve our neighbors in need, you know, buying masks and protective equipment out of pocket because she likes the work, even though she's underpaid. And we'll talk about what I want to do for workers, right, in our city. But
absolutely.
But then also, you know, had the blessing of, you know, neighbors who cared about me and teachers and folks in the community who not just taught me the power of my own voice, and that's such a powerful thing to do for young people, but also gave me the space to lead. And so, you know, from being the youngest ever member elected to the Board of Education, you know, to being able to serve as youth mayor and as president of the Ward 8 Democrats at 20 years old, you know, those things really changed me, but allowed me in really significant ways to give back and pay what I got forward. And so I was always committed to doing that, and I'm just lucky to have had as many opportunities as I have to do it.
Wow, this is amazing and impressive. For those who are watching, this is Marcus Batchelor. He's running for the at-large council member seat. You're number 7 on the ballot, right?
7 out of 23.
Number 7 on the ballot. So look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get into the best of the Crank series this summer. We have so many amazing performances. So we're going to get into one of the top 5 best performances on the One GOGO World Live streaming summer concert. And we're going to come back with the big homie Marcus Batchelor, who's running for the at-large council member in Washington, D.C. Be back in a few minutes.
Well, now P-E-A-T, give me that P-P. Do the people do I see you nod your head. Shine, look, I see you tapping your feet. I said the P-E-A-T, give me that P-P. Ladies to the front, fellas in the back, yeah, yeah. All the ladies don't know how to act, ain't no sound. Happy birthday going out to all the Geminis and Cancers, y'all. All my June babies, yeah, play the music, Marcus. two-stepping and wine sipping, y'all. Yes, Lord. Easy on through there smoking. All right. Happy birthday going out to Miss Tanya, y'all. Shout out to Miss Cookie. Yes, Lord. I want to try someday. Now, every night I see her in my dream. Since I met her from the start, I'm so proud I am the only one who is special in her heart. The girl is mine. Yeah. Oh, oh. I said the doggone girl is mine. Ooh, you know she's mine, baby. Yeah. The doggone girl is mine. Alright. See, I don't understand the way you think, saying that she's yours, not mine. Sending roses and those silly drinks, really just a waste of time because she's mine. Yeah, yeah, because the doggone girl is mine. Oh, oh, alright, don't waste your time, waste your time, waste your time, because the doggone girl is mine. Girl, I love you more than he. Take you anywhere. But I love you endlessly. Love that we will share. Sun is coming up to a town. We're walking out there, so it's one or the other. One day you'll discover that she's my girl forever and ever. Yeah, don't build your hopes to be let down, cause it's just a waste of time, no. And I don't know what John be talking about. I swear I think the boy is high, cause she's mine, yeah she is. I said the doggone girl is mine, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, alright, don't waste your time, waste your time, waste your time, because the doggone girl is mine, mine, mine.
Yes, she's mine.
Mine, mine.
The girl is mine.
Mine, mine.
Oh, yes, she's mine.
Mine, mine.
The girl is mine.
Mine, mine.
Oh, yes, she's mine.
Mine, mine.
The girl is mine.
Mine, mine.
Oh, yes, she's mine.
Mine, mine. Hold it, BJ. Woo, I hear you back there, Boogie BJ. Well, let the beat ride, please. Hold it. I hate for you to go. I love watching you leave. Now make it jiggle for me, baby, while I start to tweak. Yes, sir. While I hate for you to go, I love watching you leave. Good to see Kelly. Tree vibe. To the bridge now, baby, one time. Girl, I love you more than he. Anyway. Hey, E, wait a minute. Hold, please. Ah. 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 Like it when you do that thing. Hate for you to go, I love watching you leave. Oh, Tasha, haven't heard a pocket like this in a long time. I said I haven't heard a pocket like this in a long time. Ooh, goddamn. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been about 3 months for me. I've been in stage, GOGO stage jail. Hold it. Don't nobody say a mother word. Wait a minute. gotta say it, mother thing. To the bridge one time, baby. Girl, I love you more than home. You got it stinking so good up here west. Hold it. Hey, E, sometimes I gotta reel it on back in home. Pocket take me back down Bonnets. Take me up to Abbey's Club. Let's get on through here to the bridge, y'all, man. Girl, I love you more than he. Take you anywhere. But I love you endlessly. Love we will share. So come and go to a town where we both cannot have. So it's one or the other. And one day you'll discover that she's my girl forever again. I don't build you up to be let down, 'cause it's just a waste of time, no. And I don't know what John be screaming about, because he knows the girl is mine. Yeah, she's mine, yeah. Leave her alone, the doggone girl is mine. Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, no, right, don't waste your time. Waste your time, waste your time. Say what? Because the doggone girl is mine. Mine, mine.
Yes, she's mine.
Mine, mine.
The girl is mine.
Mine, mine.
Oh, yes, she's mine.
Mine, mine.
The girl is mine.
Mine, mine.
Oh, yes, she's mine.
Mine, mine.
The girl is mine.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Boosie Vegas, aka Mr. All Night Like the Porch Light. We're having this amazing voter registration, get out and vote campaign concert series, best of on OneGoGoWorldLive.com. We have the amazing Ward 7 candidate for DC at-large council member seat, Marcus Batchelor. I know it's a whole lot I'm saying right there. Anyway, thank you for sticking around. We've been having this amazing in-depth conversation, and I want to really have a conversation about a tweet that you made 5 days ago, and it said, "When I grew up, there were just 1 or 2 degrees of good luck and opportunity between serving on the school board and serving a prison sentence. Filling those big cracks is what I've been dedicated my life's works to do, and that's what I'll do on the council every single day if elected." Could you please elaborate a little bit more? Because this was a powerful quote, a powerful tweet that it really resonated.
No, I appreciate that. No, I think it speaks to a lot of what we were talking about earlier. Those really significant, right, things, both big and small, that allowed me to do the things that I'm doing today. That so many of my peers, the folks I grew up with in my community and all across the city, so many just didn't have those opportunities, and you see the real consequences of those. And so, I talked about my loving family, right? Folks in my community, teachers who cared about me, right? Mentors and peers at places like the Youth Leadership Institute, right? That just gave me the opportunity that so many other young people didn't have. And, I was always, right, keenly aware of that, whether it was because I watched the city physically change, right, from where I started in middle school, traveling across town right at the Anacostia Metro Station to Hardy Middle School in Georgetown. You can see the city change, and you see with it, right, the divides in housing and opportunity, jobs, all of those things were real to me. And I thought that if I was lucky enough to get those things in the city I was born in the community I was born in, that all of my peers should have got that, and that if I got it, I had the opportunity to really make that possible for more kids like me.
amazing. But also, you know, I think the that whole tweet spoke volumes of how close the degrees were, how things could have went left or right. So I think for people who may not know, you are born and raised in Congress Heights, Southeast. Could you just explain to us or elaborate what was your childhood like, but also what was it like in a child growing up in the 2000s and the 90s, observing everything that was going around you? Could you just explain to people what that was like?
Yeah, you know, like I said, I was really lucky to have a mom who from day one was really dedicated to making sure that I was on the right path, right?
Right.
That from right as long as long as I can remember, right, there were books in the household, and right, you know, and if there weren't, the veteran up the street would stop me every week and give me a brown paper bag full of books, right, to
Wow.
take home with me, right? Those very lucky things, right? That I had, you know, a good third grade teacher, that I had, right, mentors at Congress Heights Rec who made sure that, you know, we got to go to museums and explore different things. And like I said, that wasn't true for everybody, right? I have, you know, peers who I grew up with, who my mom used to babysit, you know, with me, who are now serving, right, multi-decades prison sentences, right? And realizing that if I didn't have a good third grade teacher, or if I didn't have a mom who was involved, or a veteran who, right, saw me running up and down the street and saw something in me and decided to give me books, those are those degrees that really made a difference for me. And the fact is, we need to not just build strong communities, but we have to build better systems that allow that to be more possible for more kids.
It's amazing. Once again, for you guys who are watching, we have Marcus Batchelor here. He's running as a candidate for the at-large seat for the D.C. City Council. He's number 7 on the ballot, right? I want to
7.
make sure I got that here.
Yep.
Anyway, we're going to come right back, but I want to give a supreme shout-out to GOGO Royalty and my man Billy the Kid. This amazing attire that I have on. Shout out to Billy the Kid. You know, here at OneGoGoWorldLive.com, we do support all our black-owned businesses or whatever. And we happen to be sitting here with royalty and political royalty and future political royalty, Marcus Batchelor here. So we're going to get back into some more crank. Then we're going to come back with some more conversation right here, OneGoGoWorldLive.com, with the council member at large candidate representative Marcus Batchelor. And I know I'm messing this up, but y'all just stick with me because we're going to be right back with some crank right here with y'all.
good morning. With his breakfast, we lost track of time, but we had a ball. Let's do a movie, and then tonight's the night. We'll just unwind and stay. Hey, you just get personal, personal, personal. episode. Hey, hey, hey. Smoke weed every day. Alright. I hope you home having a good time, y'all. We sure love having a good time. Make sure you donate to that cash app, y'all. Right, Chris Express, yes. Right, Chris Express. Hold up. Wait. I'm a niggas who be thinking we saw. We don't wait. Oh, we gon' rock it till the wheels fall off. Hold up. Wait. All my niggas who be acting too bold. Think up. See. I hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey, hey, hey. Leo's birthday. Hey, hey, hey.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Boosie Vegas, Mr. All Night Like the Porch Light. Do you like that, Mr. All Night Like the Porch
I
Light?
do. I
thing?
laugh every time you say it. It's great.
Yeah, man. We sit there diving into some crank and conversation, and today we're having some crank and political conversation. We have the amazing at-large candidate, Mr. Marcus Batchelor, Congress Heights' own. We're having this amazing dialogue, but he is running. He is on the ballot, and he is an amazing representation of Southeast Washington, D.C. So I think some things that we might want to highlight right now. The fact that you can register the same day. Could you elaborate on that? Because maybe I want to get it right.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of information circulating about the election, but the really important information is if you haven't registered already, you cannot register online to vote, but you can still register at a polling location, any polling location in the city that you go to and vote the same day. So,
Amazing.
so you've got early voting that runs from October 27th to November 2nd, and then election day on November 3rd, and folks can vote at any site, any of the close to 100 sites that'll be open by the end of the election period.
So that's amazing, which means you don't really have an excuse on why you can't vote. Because if you can go register the same day and vote, that kind of changes the game, and that gives everybody an opportunity to have their voices heard.
And I should say that also that if you have registered to vote and you received a ballot in the mail, that you should fill it out and turn it in. So folks can return it to a mailbox and submit it that way. But actually, what more voters have been doing so far is dropping it at the 50 drop boxes around the city that the Board of Elections has provided. So you can fill out the ballot you received in the mail and safely drop it in a drop box, and that's another way to make sure your vote gets counted.
Amazing. This is amazing insight that we're having. And, it's just amazing to have this conversation with such a young, bright, inspiring, passionate, motivating Southeast resident. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say that you're changing the narrative, but I think you're a great reflection on how wide, vast variety we all are in the city, but in Southeast. So let's just have a little bit of conversation. This is GOGOWorldLive.com.
Yeah.
I would love to know, I'm sure our fans want to know, what are some of the go-go bands that you like?
Yeah.
And what are some of the songs that you like? And be clear.
Yeah.
If you want to say you like some of my songs, you can do that as well.
Let's just get it out the way. I like all of your songs, so
Thank
they're
you.
at the top of my list. Growing up, right, I was born to a mom who was 36 going on 37. So I grew up as an old soul. So, folks like Chuck and EU were
Absolutely.
a part of the repertoire in the house.
I love it.
Right. CCB Roll Call was a staple song at every middle school
Man,
dance.
welcome back, CCB, because
Shout out Hardy Middle School class of
they're back.
2007.
CCB is back.
Yep. In college, I was listening to a lot of New Impressions.
Shout out to TJ. Welcome back. That's my guy.
Oh man, but I just think there are just so many. There's so many bands with so many styles that
Absolutely.
you just right. Oh, and I can't forget. Shout out to DJ Flex, Southeast Anthem.
Oh, wow.
That you gotta blast that in the car.
Also, DJ Rico.
That's right.
Is on that song.
That's right.
He was on that.
That's right.
I think the next question that I would love to ask you is, and this is, this is probably already known. You decided to reach out to the GOGO community. We had an amazing Zoom call last night. Just for somebody that is young as you, that has been around the city for so long, what made you want to reach out to that demographic and have a conversation with while you were running for this elected office?
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost, it's those things that you just think about as a DC native, right? Growing up in the era that we live in, that so much, right, of our history is kind of right being diluted in a way because our communities are changing so quickly. And those folks that are really the staple, right, the stock of that culture are the folks who are on the short end of our inequalities, being pushed out, displaced. And so there's a real motivation, right, to do something now to preserve, right, what I grew up on, right, what my mom grew up on, but preserve that for future generations, but also double down on it, right, to expand it and make it truly a part of what DC will be in the future. And, I decided to run for the council on this and a whole bunch of issues because I said that the decisions that the council will make over the next 4 years will impact this city for the next 4 decades.
Wow.
Right. And if we don't have folks at the table with both the right experience and the right perspective, right, to say that go-go music and DC culture is worth investing in, right, not just on paper, right, but with action to make it truly a part of what DC will be in the future, then we really do run the risk, right? We are one election away, right, from really running the risk of losing that forever.
Wow.
And that's really why I wanted to make sure that we centered, right, voices in the go-go community, but also, right, young people and folks experiencing our most extreme poverty who are often left out of the table or afterthought in conversations, right, politically, but really making them, right, the front door to the work that I'll do on the council.
Amazing. Last night on our Zoom call that we had, you gave some amazing insight on your possible plans. And one of the things that really struck a nerve with me and a lot of the go-go musicians was the fact that you were saying that we should unionize and also have a situation where we can have health benefits since we're such a staple, since we are the official music of DC. Can you elaborate that? Because that was such groundbreaking conversation that we had yesterday. I would love the viewers to really hear that insight.
Yeah, and on this and a whole bunch of issues, what I've been telling folks is that right now we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to really do things differently in DC. And I think the opportunity we got right earlier this year and last year was that we made DC, right, the official music of the district.
Absolutely.
And our next crop of leaders in district government will have to advocate more fiercely to make that not just, right, a commitment or a commemoration or a promise on paper, but make it real. And we talked, right, last night about how, you know, when you go to places like Nashville or Memphis or New Orleans, right, there's a presence that's invested in, right, by the community and by government, right, to really make it a center of the economy and a center of what makes their city unique, right? And we just don't do that enough as the District of Columbia when it comes to go-go music and go-go culture. And so we have to do more of that. And I think from the council, what we can do is make sure that things, right, institutions like the Arts Commission set aside resources to preserve and promote, right, go-go music and go-go culture, that when we think about how we recover from the coronavirus and we think about the future of entertainment and the entertainment industry in DC, right, given all of the new health circumstances we have to face for years, we have to make sure that the go-go community is a part of that. And make sure that we're just not doing it as a checkbox, but that we really see it, right, as something that's centered in really who we are, and and we'll get there as a government if we elect folks to government who are also centered in who we are.
It's amazing to have this perspective from such a young man born and raised here. You know what I mean, and everything about you says future at-large council member, but I just think it's really inspiring to have a young man from Southeast with this insight and this vision in a plan. Like, you know, I know we're doing this interview, but it is moving for me to hear you speak like this, but moving to hear you have this plan of action already ready for us once you get in office. So this is amazing. Once again, we have Marcus Batchelor here. He's running for at-large council member, Ward 8 representative on the school board, but he's also a Ward 8 resident. We're going to get back to some more crank right now, right here, and we're going to come back with more of his future plans once he is elected to at-large council member, because I've already decided to claim it for him already. I mean, with all these ideas for everybody in D.C., I mean, we're probably going to have to do something. Right here, GOGOWorldLive.com, we got some more crank, and when we come back, we'll have some more political conversation right here with you. Marcus Batchelor, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I bring to the stage? Can I bring to the stage? Sugar Bear. Bring to the stage. Hey, can I bring to the stage? Southeast own. The legendary legend. Wow. The legendary legend. Wow. Southeast own. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Mr. Sugar Bear. child grows up to be somebody just like burn. Yeah. My love, to the both of them, all you see is in the blood. But okay, good, Jamal. Cause you know blood's thicker than mud. It's a family affair. Throw your hands up. Family affair. Thank you, Kim. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Part two. Newlywed. Just a year ago. Still checking each other out. Nobody wants to know. Nobody wants to be left out. Hey, Scooby! You can't leave cause your heart is here. But you're trying to wait. You've been somewhere else. You can't cry cause your love broke down. But you're crying to wait cause you're all broke down. It's a family affair. Throw your hands up, Kim. No wonder. It's a family affair. Crip. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Watch this, y'all. Give me some. What, Lord? That's right. That's right. Look here. B-E-A-T, give me that beat. Drop it low, woman. Get up, get up. Drop it low, woman. Drop it low, woman. Party up here with the horns, y'all. Come on. Drop it low, woman. Pretty little wonder. Drop it low, woman. Look at this pocket. Drop it low, woman. Don't play with sugar. Drop it low, woman. Get up, come on. Drop it low. Hold up. I know you saw me on the video. I know you heard me on your radio. But you still don't be grabbing no attention. Cause you listen what your girlfriend's mention. Sugar bear thingy this, sugar bear thingy that. But let me tell you one of the coolest kind of that. Everything you hear about sugar ain't true. Cause what it is, gotta cross on. Yeah! Oh, bop. Oh, bop. Oh, bop. Oh, bop. Sheila. Oh, bop. Oh, bop. 76. Oh, bop. Excuse me. Know you saw me on the video. I know you heard me on your radio. Watch your style. Don't pay me no attention now. Never make a simple konnichiwa. Make me Hey, Chuck Brown fans, throw your hands up. Everybody go. Oompa. Oompa.
Get a bag of the lethal. I be untrust in the bro.
Don't pay me no attention. I don't know who you think you are, baby.
What up?
They call me Sugar Bear. I will blow your mind. Hey, go fans, throw your hands up. Everybody go, get up. Come on. Hey, hey. Oh, bop, bop. Oh, bop. Oh, bop, bop. Oh, bop, Lily. Oh, bop, Christina. Oh, bop, Waukesha. Oh, bop, Topeka. Everybody, let's go. Hey. From the front to the back. Oh, she got a little teeny bone. Say what? Say what? Give me that beat. Come on. Hey, Scooby. Me and you and Lawanda. Pick this up. It's real easy. Go down. Bring it up. Get ready for doing the front. Go down. Pick it up. Get ready for doing the front. Go down. Pick it up. Get ready for doing the front. Go down. Pick it up. Yeah, yeah. Come on, y'all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want everybody to sing, Scooby. Let them sing. Walk in this place, surprise the saint. Big girl get bedside.
Just rockin' to the go-go beat.
The way she shook that booty, so look good to me. Shake a man, big girl, don't you rock my world. Don't let that do me. She was doing the butt. Hey, put time. When you get that notion, put your back, build and motion. I'm doing the butt. Hey, sexy. Ain't nothing wrong. You wanna do the butt all night long. Ow. Oh, that's right, Scooby. Ow, what are you gonna do about it? Shake it. I took that girl out on the floor. She rocked me from the backside. We did the book till she made me so. Yeah, it's a physical thing, but not hard to do, ladies. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Do the butt all night long. Come on, doing the butt. Hey, good time. When you get that notion, put your back, build and motion. I'm doing the butt. Hey, sexy. Ain't nothing wrong if you wanna do the butt all night long. Throw your hands in the air. Throw your hands in the air. If you're feeling good, you're looking right. Jump right there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I scream. Hey, quick. Say, John, you got a big old butt.
Oh yeah.
Shirley got a big old butt.
Oh yeah.
Irene got a big old butt.
Oh yeah.
Teresa got a big old butt.
Big old butt.
Miss Kim got a big old butt.
Oh yeah.
The one that got a sexy butt.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Bruce got a big old butt.
Oh yeah.
76 degrees got the biggest butt.
Yeah.
Ow. If I say it too loud, you want me to shut up? Bring me that girl with that big old butt. Ow. I want your butt, your big old.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Boosie Vegas, back here at OneGoGoWorldLive.com. Mr. All Night, like the porch light. You're still laughing at it. So
I still like it.
it's amazing.
Great.
You know what I mean? it's a gift. Anyway,
I need one before we end though, so you got to think of one and then.
you know what? I like that. But I tell you what, we're gonna start with future council member at large, Marcus Bachelor, is what we're gonna start with. We've been having this amazing political conversation or whatever. The insight that you have been giving us has been amazing, and you know, I'm gonna have to be honest with you, and I'm not saying that I have any preconceived notions on what people may presume or have a perception of Southeast, but you're really such an amazing reflection of what Southeast DC is. Like to be a young man, 27 years old, with all this passion, with all this drive to make a service for your community is just beyond words or whatever. Now, we were talking earlier about voting and the fact that you can vote, you can register and vote on the same day up to the last day. But also I know, and you were explaining to me this, and I would love our viewers to know about if you are in the penal institution and all that. So could you just break down what those laws are?
Yeah, so for the first time, this is the first election in which folks committed of a felony who are serving current sentences in federal institutions around the country can actually vote while incarcerated.
Wow.
So we're one of the very few jurisdictions and very few states around the country that actually allow folks currently serving felony sentences to vote. And this is actually the first election that folks can do it. So literally, for every resident, right, and every citizen claiming residency in the District of Columbia, there's no excuse not to vote
Not at
this
all.
time.
Amazing, amazing. And this is amazing insight because I have to be honest, I was not I did not know that this was the case for the community in DC or just felons in general.
And let me tell you why that's also important.
Please do.
Because what we also have to realize is that our folks who are currently incarcerated and serving time will come home eventually. And what we've seen is that, you know, time and again, our city has really failed in so many ways to make sure that we prepare a place for our brothers and sisters incarcerated so that they can have a productive reentry. And my hope is that as folks recover, pay their debt to society, and think about what type of community they'll need to be most successful when they return, that you vote for the folks with that vision in mind, right? And so we've had a bold vision, right, for how we best support our returning citizens, but also have been unabashed about our commitment to gaining DC statehood so that we can get control over our courts and of our prison system,
Right.
so that we can not only be able to support our brothers and sisters on the back end, but on the front end and dictate what type of supports and what type of experience folks get as they're paying their debt in hopes that they'll be fully recovered and rehabilitated when they return home.
Amazing. This is amazing insight, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Bachelor, 27 years old, Congress Heights resident, State Board Education Representative for Ward 8, and he is the candidate for the at-large council seat, number 7 on the ballot. So I guess as we move forward, and you know, I guess I'm moving ahead, but I'm going to claim it. So Marcus Bachelor is elected. He will make history. You will be the youngest council member in the history of Washington D.C., which has never happened before. What will be the first thing you would do? What will be the most passionate thing that you would tackle the minute you get into office?
Yeah, well, I think what I've got to start with is a level of practicality, realizing that the race that I started 400 days ago to the day, actually, this is day 400 on the campaign trail, that the vision I had is rooted in the same values, but the circumstances are different, right? We have a coronavirus that has disproportionately impacted Black residents in this city, and has shown that economically we also have a problem in terms of the gaps between Black residents and white residents in our city. But it also means that we have a economic deficit that has to be closed too. And so my immediate focus when I get to the council is making sure that we're closing the gaps for our neighbors left furthest behind, that we make sure we're providing economic security so that people who lost their jobs don't also lose their homes,
Right.
that we're providing support for small businesses who have to retrofit spaces or buy personal protective equipment for employees or completely change their business model to meet the new normal,
Right.
that we realize that the eviction moratorium through this public health emergency is going to end, and we will have a wave of evictions ahead of us if we don't do something to expand things like rent control and rental assistance for those folks. And so and quite frankly, our young people have to return to the classroom and return to the classroom safely. And so thinking about how we build out digital equity and make sure every school has the resources it needs to serve students. Those are the things I'll be
So
focused on
digital
immediately.
equity means
Yeah.
what? For people, could you make that in layman terms? Because that is a
Yeah.
great point.
That means that 20 years, right, 2 decades after most middle class families had household computers, that no family in our city should not have access to a household computer and the internet
Right.
in our community. But that just is not the case. There's so many young people who didn't have access to the technology in school or at home before this pandemic, which is one of the things I've been fighting for over the last 4 years. But also don't have it now, right? 2 months almost into a school year where learning loss is a real threat. So we still have a lot of work to do to not just make sure students have devices and that families have the internet, but that families also have the literacy to use those tools to learn in the best way. And that's going to take work, but we have to invest in that now.
Amazing. Once again, Marcus Batchelor, he is the at-large council member candidate running. This has been an amazing conversation. This has been so insightful, but I honestly can speak for a DC native. It is really inspiring to have a young 27-year-old Southeast born and raised resident be as passionate as you, taking up this fight. You know, obviously you could have done a whole bunch of stuff, but for you to want to come back and serve and make a difference in your community, it's really inspiring. It's actually motivating. I guess before we, wrap this up, could you just make your last plea? Tell everybody what it is that you hope, who you are, but just let everybody know what you really hope to accomplish and where you see your candidacy going.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely. I want to thank you for having me and for all the support you've not just given right in this election, but over the years. And what I'm asking voters to do on or before November 3rd is invest in a new generation of leadership, one with both the right experience and right perspective that is rooted in our communities and really wants to make DC a city that works for all of us. And that means making sure that we have truly affordable housing across income levels, equitably funded public schools for every young person in every community, that we expand the security of living wage work for every resident in our city, and that we have communities that are both ripe with opportunity and free from gun violence. And if you believe in that, I'm asking for one of your 2 votes for at-large council member on or before November 3rd, but that you also spend these last few days until the election getting the word out to your neighbors. So you can join us at marcusfordc.com. That's markusfordc.com. Follow us at Marcus for DC or text Marcus to 31996 to get involved and help us out so that we can bring this home.
Amazing. But please, before we get up out of here, I want to thank you again personally for engaging the GOGO community yesterday. So yesterday, for people who do not know, we had an amazing Zoom call with just about everybody that you could think of in GOGO, but also Raheem Devon was on there as well, giving some insight. And to have somebody come on there with a real legible plan for the future of arts and culture in DC, but also to protect the musicians and also protect your community was just beyond words. And I am truly rooting for you. And I know sometimes you can be older or younger, but I am so inspired by you. I am so motivated by you. Everything about you says future. And I know with you being elected, I know my people in my community and people who grew up like me will be greatly served by your representation on there, man.
Like us.
Absolutely. May God keep you, man. I'm asking you guys, I know I'm not supposed to do this, go vote for Marcus Batchelor, at-large council member. Please go check him out. Let everybody know what your social media information is as well.
It's just at Marcus Batchelor, at Marcus for DC, MarkusFordC.
All right.
So you can follow us everywhere on that.
All right. Well, you know what? As we leave, I think the last song should be one of the best songs ever, I think, ever made. This summer, we had this amazing concert series, COVID Relief, and the Chuck Brown band that played. Shout out to Scooby, and they played, which is probably my favorite GOGO song. It don't mean a thing if you don't got the GOGO swing. So I think we're going to take y'all out here. Once again, thank you guys so much for joining us for this special voting, get out and vote registration drive concert series today. Once again, Boosie Vegas, Mr. Arnold, like the porch light, and vote for Marcus Batchelor. And I'm going to come up with one after you win the election.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
All right, I'll come back. I'll come back.
Please
for
do.
It. Yeah.
Let me say it. So after you win, so you will come back.
Absolutely.
My man. Also, I want to give a special shout out to the museum. This Amazing
Absolutely.
setting right here at the museum. Want to thank the homie Trey, aka Mr. Sexy Lady, aka Trey B Face. He has a whole lot of monikers, but like you, Trey is an amazing representation of Washington D.C. and he's here giving back in his community, providing opportunities for us to come back here. So, like you have been doing it, paying it forward. Trey has been paying it forward as well, and he kept this amazing location in the museum open. Now, if we can get some free clothes, that would even be better. But we're going to see how that works out. But until then, once again, Marcus Bachelor, at-large candidate, number 7 on the ballot. Please go cast your votes. Thank you again. Once again, we're going to leave you with this. It don't mean a thing if you don't got the GOGO Marcus Bachelor swing. How about that?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm gone. GoGoWorldLive.com. Thank y'all for tuning in today.
Don't need a thing if it ain't got the go-go swing. Go do-wop, 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 do-wow. I love you like that. It don't need a thing if it don't got the go-go swing. You go do-wop, 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 do-wow. Look at here. It don't mean a thing if it don't got the go-go swing.
I'm Marcus Bachelor, candidate for DC Council at Large, and I'm rocking with OneGoGoWorldLive.com.
Champ is here. Like T-Red say, we want some perfection. I want to see you clap that ass down on all floors, on all fours like a chair. Hey, she clapping really, really good. 2020 shit. Hey, she clapping really, really good. Who run it? Hey, she clapping really, really good. Hey, Tony Reyes, hey, tell my nigga Polo, I gotta follow my lead. I tell him clap, 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 clap. Pump that ass and pump me, shorty, clap, clap, clap. That brain rotation thing, now watch it, clap, clap, clap. Love is it, they bust and watch it, clap, clap, clap. I tell her work, twerk, oh, work, twerk, work. Hey, pump that ass and pump me, shorty, twerk, twerk, twerk. That brain rotation thing, now watch it, work, work, work. Hey, Trinidad, hey, T-Street, oh, really? My nigga say, got that motherfucking place jumping. You know that, hey, come and ask the Lord. and DMV. Give me my clap, clap. Give me my clap. Give me my clap. Give me my clap. What acapella is good?
We still hang 'cause we got the lady comes in the shake. Baby, you know we got a private again. If your ass fat, just throw that ass back, ass clap 2002. Hey, now we do it for the ladies and always shaking, baby. Who you know can do it better than this? Go on there, tell a friend it's the Bounce Beat Kings, ass clap 2002.
Oh, and 2020. Give me my clap. I tell her, hey, level up, level up, level up, level up, whoa, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, yeah, level up, level up, whoa, level up, level up, whoa, level up, level up, whoa, level up, level up, level up, yeah. Walk, whoa, so juicy, whoa, third world, so juicy, whoa, TCU, so juicy, whoa, life, so juicy, whoa, level up, level up, level up. Push it. It's gonna clap for you. Double what a time. Hey, 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 hey. She bad, whoa, she bad.